What does it mean that Jesus is the Son of Man? 8 times in the New Testament Jesus referred as the Son of Man. In fact, the primary title Jesus used when referring to himself is Son of Man. Matthew 12 verse 32, 13:37, Luke 12 verse 8, John 1 verse 51. The only use of Son of Man in a clear reference to Jesus, spoken by someone other than Jesus, came from the lips of Stephen as he was being martyred. Acts 7 verse 56. And he said, "Behold, I see the heavens opened, and the Son of Man standing at the right hand of God." This is the only clear reference in the passage of New Testament. Most of that came from the lips of Jesus. There are 4 reasons why Jesus called the Son of Man. First, Son of Man is a title of humanity. Other titles for Christ, such as Son of God, are shown in their focus on his deity. Son of Man, in contrast, focuses on the humanity of Christ. God called the prophet Ezekiel Son of Man 93 times. In this way, God was simply calling Ezekiel a human being, that is his title as human servant of God. Son of Man is simply a paraphrastic term for human. 1 John 4 verse 2. By this you know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh is from God. Jesus Christ was truly a human being. He came in the flesh. Second, Son of Man is a title of humility. Isaiah 53 verse 3. He was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows, and acquainted with grief, and as one from whom men hide their faces he was despised, and we esteemed him not. The second person of the Trinity, which is Jesus Christ, eternal in nature, left heaven's glory and took on human flesh, becoming the Son of Man, born in a manger and despised and rejected by mankind. Luke 9 verse 58. And Jesus said to him, "Foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head." The Son of Man had no place to lay his head. Matthew 11 verse 19. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, "Look at him, a glutton and a drunkard, a friend of tax collectors and sinners." Yet wisdom is justified by her deeds. The Son of Man ate and drank with sinners. The Son of Man suffered at the hands of men in Matthew 17 verse 12. But I tell you that Elijah has already come, and they did not recognize him, but did to him whatever they pleased. So also the Son of Man will certainly suffer at their hands. This intentional lowering of his status from King of Heaven to Son of Man is the model of humility. In Philippians 2 verse 6-8. Who, though he was in the form of God, did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped, but made himself nothing, taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men. And being found in human form, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross. Third, Son of Man is a title of deity. Ezekiel may have been a son of man, but Jesus is the Son of Man. As such, Jesus is the supreme example of all that God intended mankind to be. Jesus is the perfect representative in human, the embodiment of truth and grace in John 1 verse 14. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we have seen his glory, glory as of the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth. In him all the fullness of the deity lives in bodily form, Colossians 2 verse 9. For this reason, the Son of Man was able to forgive sins. Matthew 9 verse 6. The Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath. Mark 2 verse 28. The Son of Man came to save lives. Luke 9 verse 56, 19:10, rise from the dead. Mark 9 verse 9, and execute judgment. John 5 verse 27. At his trial before the high priest, Jesus said, I say to all of you, from now on you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on the clouds. Matthew 26 verse 64 to 66. Jesus said to him, You have said so. But I tell you, from now on you will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of power and coming on the clouds of heaven. Then the high priest tore his robes and said, He has uttered blasphemy. What further witnesses do we need? You have now heard his blasphemy. What is your judgment? They answered, He deserves death. This statement immediately ended the trial, as the court accused the Lord of blasphemy and condemned him to death. Fourth Son of Man is a fulfillment of prophecy. Jesus' claim before the high priest to be the Son of Man was a reference to the prophecy of Daniel 7 verses 13 to 14. It says, In my vision at night I looked, and there before me was one like a son of man, coming with the clouds of heaven. He approached the Ancient of Days and was led into his presence. He was given authority, glory, and sovereign power. All peoples, nations, and men of every language worshipped him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion that will not pass away, and his kingdom is one that will never be destroyed. Daniel saw glory, worship, and an everlasting kingdom given to the Messiah, here called the Son of Man, and Jesus applied this prophecy to himself. Jesus also spoke of his coming kingdom on other occasions in Matthew 13 verse 41. The Son of Man will send his angels, and they will gather out of his kingdom all causes of sin and all lawbreakers. Matthew 16 verse 28. Truly, I say to you, there are some standing here who will not taste death until they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. The author of Hebrews used a reference to the Son of Man in the Psalms to teach that Jesus, the true Son of Man, will be the ruler of all things. Hebrews 2 verses 5 to 9. Now it was not to angels that God subjected the world to come, of which we are speaking. It has been testified somewhere, What is man, that you are mindful of him, or the Son of Man, that you care for him? You made him for a little while lower than the angels, you have crowned him with glory and honor, putting everything in subjection under his feet. Now in putting everything in subjection to him, he left nothing outside his control. At present, we do not yet see everything in subjection to him. But we see him who for a little while was made lower than the angels, namely Jesus, crowned with glory and honor because of the suffering of death, so that by the grace of God he might taste death for everyone. The Son of Man, in fulfillment of Old Testament prophecy, will be the King. Jesus was truly God. John 1 verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. But he was also truly human. John 1 verse 14. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we have seen his glory, glory as of the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth. As the Son of God and the Son of Man, Jesus is deserving of both titles. The reason why Jesus is called the Son of Man is: first is a title of humanity, second title of humility, third title of deity, fourth fulfillment of prophecy.